Hello, this is Dr. Do again. This video is continue with the systemic approach to medicine. This is the second video on the stream. So on the four major organic compounds. Previously, I mentioned in previous video about the four major compounds: nucleic acid, DNA, protein, and polycarbohydrates. Start with DNA, which is actually is not quite much metabolizable. It's really quite stable. If you really get DNA, extract it, and then liquefy it, which means frozen dry it, it's like a string. So which means very, very stable, because it carries the code for the life. The triplets, every three nucleotides carry the signals passing down to selected amino acid during the process of the translation. So this is the, I think I previously briefly mentioned the DNA structure: double spiraled, two strands, and the hydrogen bond between the different nucleotide, the A and T, adenosine and thymidine, and C and G, cytosine and guanine. So this is the two or three hydrogen bonds. So make it quite stable. It's one of the reasons. The other reason is the covalent bond between individual nucleosides. So this is about the fundamental structure of DNA. The DNA, there are so many ways to examine DNA. I think the technology start from the traditional extract DNA, use the strong acid or base to get the DNA to the purpose to melt out, to get rid of all the other components like protein, carbohydrates, or lipids. And then the DNA survived all of those washes, all the digested by the strong base, and then analyze A to 60 versus A to 80 for the nucleic acid and the protein. So this is a very basic science, the technology to examine the DNA. And there's some other molecular technology, of course, start from the beginning, sudden blotting and sequencing, and then later on now there's so many new methods like the microarrays, and there's so many, if you want to check it, it's beyond you imagine how the science go to the depths of the genes, beyond what we can see. So this is about DNA. In terms of the DNA, the clinical applications, in addition to diagnosis of the mutations, different kind of mutations like the switch, the nucleosides, or the misshift the frames, or deleting, or there are multiple ways for during this mutation process generate the malfunction protein, or truncated protein peptides, or short peptides, or just cannot generate normal proteins. So these are the consequences for the DNA-related clinical significance. A lot of diseases, we know the chromosomal diseases like the XO Turner's disease, or the other, the Down syndrome. Those are all from the mutations of the genes. That's just the common known mutations. There's some other rare diseases also from this genetic, which means DNA abnormal, cause the protein malfunction, like the cystic fibrosis is also because of the DNA carried on, passing down the message with the malfunction protein, cause this chloride channels not function, cause the mucus accumulated in the lungs, and also the malfunction of the pancreas. So this is just the fundamental knowledge of DNA application to the clinic. So this is one of the major organic compounds. I'm just and also I mentioned the connections between these four organic compounds closely is the DNA to the protein. So the DNA, through the duplication, the cells multiplied, generating the offspring cells, and then through the transcription, the DNA message passing to the mRNA, and the mRNA really carry the codes for protein. So this from the transcription to the mRNA, and from mRNA to the protein through the translation process to translate these triplets of nucleotide through the tRNA and into the amino acid connected by peptide bonds becomes a protein. And the function unit of the body is really in terms of metabolism, regulation, everything is because of this protein. So the protein, what are the proteins? The proteins are the peptide of amino acids. This is another compound. Amino acids are 20 of them, and some of them we have to take by the food, which calls essential amino acid. Some of them we have it in our body, can synthesize. So these proteins, they're umpteen in the numbers, we cannot name them. There are too many, and their functions in variety, from the structure, like the bones, the muscles, the structure in the visible world, or to the micro world, the structure support for the cells, the tubules, and also the filaments. They are all the proteins. And also, of course, regulation, hormones. Insulin is a typical one. It's a small peptide, small protein, regulate glucose metabolism. And also nutritions, albumin, for example, served pretty much the major nutrient compound. And also the immune function, hemoglobin is one of the protein, one special type of protein involved in the humoral immunity. And also there's some other functions in addition to this regulation, immune, and also the also proteins serve as the hemoglobin, for example, to provide oxygen for the body. So there's a variety of functions from the protein. And protein, so this is about the relationship between the nucleic acid and the protein. And in terms of polycarbohydrates, in addition to provide energy, polycarbohydrates can be identity of the proteins, connected of the cells, either connected to the protein or connected to the lipids, to tell the body, to tell the relevant component, saying this is special for cells because I label them as this, or I label them as that. So this is the polycarbohydrates, in addition to provide energy. And the lipids is again provide energy, our fat tissue and cushion, and also lipid also can serve as the same idea, the identification of the cells and the major component of cell membrane. If without this lipid, the cell membrane cannot hold the whole sac of the plasma fluid floating with the microorganelles. So this is about the in general introduction of those major 4 compounds. You know where they come from. So the protein comes from DNA and also from the food intake, metabolism, and the lipids also from the metabolism synthesized from those elements. The 4 major organic elements are the carbon, the nitrogen, the oxygen, and hydrogen. So the body, we have this major 4 elements to involve in the metabolism through the anabolism, catabolism, and the synthesis and degradation. So this is very, very invisible component of the body start from the beginning. So this is about the second video on this stream to put together the 4 major organic compounds, has a whole picture. I'm going to stop here and continue next time. Thank you for watching.